You may know Jeff Mauro as the funny guy on the Food Network's The Kitchen, or before that as the winner of the network's talent contest, which led to his show, The Sandwich King. But you may not know about his earlier career in Chicago's improv scene, including one memorable performance of the comedy Tony and Tina's Wedding, where a ticket holder died.
Half the audience leaves. I mean, they high-titted it. They're like, we did not sign up for this. And the other ones are like, we signed up for this. Half of them didn't believe that this really happened. So now we have to, even after the body bag, I mean, the guys, you can't breathe in a body. I mean, I don't know, I think they're pretty airtight.
I'm Charlie Myerson, and this is the Chicago Public Square Wednesday Journal Conversations podcast. Jeff Mauro and I sat down at Dominican University, not far from his alma mater, Oak Park and River Forest High School, or OPRF, as he calls it in the interview you're about to hear, to talk about that unforgettable experience and his career on stage, screen, and in the food biz. Also, his bathing habits. And he even sang a few songs at the end. Here's how it went May 15th, 2018, when Jeff Mauro and I took the stage in his old, and his now again, hometown of River Forest, Illinois.
Wow. We filled this joint. That's nice.
That's not bad, right? Thank you, guys. Hi. What's up, front row?
I want to...
Mary?
I want to thank you, first of all, Jeff, because you were promoting this event on WGN Radio earlier this week, and you referred to me as an international legend.
Do you have a problem with that?
I don't know where you got it, but I'm now putting it on my resume, so thank you very much for that.
My goal is to get as many people here as possible, obviously, just to hear the story and hear you. You are. I listened to your other discussions you had with particularly David Axelrod, and it was, you're very insightful and you're very articulate and everything. And most of the time I'm doing 3-minute interviews on, zany radio shows where we don't get to the bottom of anything and there's really no discussion. So it's great to be a part of this, especially as the easiest commute I've ever had for a job, ever. Of course, besides the traffic on Thatcher because they closed First Avenue at the tracks. So now everybody is going through my, it's unbelievable. So it took me an extra 35 seconds.
All right, so now you're not on the Zany Morning Show.
No.
You can stretch. Mm-hmm. People heard the short version, but I want to hear the personal, epic tale of how you became famous.
Okay. So I started, where should I start? My family's here to cross-reference me if I make a mistake. I guess it started in 3rd grade, I would say. Believe it or not, that's when it all started, and that's when I kind of had this seed planted in me, and I was at Lincoln Elementary School here in River Forest. All right, some alumni here? All right. Any of my teachers here? No? So they did a school play back then where all the classes participated, and I auditioned for it, and it was called Let George Do It. And I can't believe I remember half my lines. So I auditioned for it, and I got the role of King George II, I believe. Is that correct, the 3rd? I'm not a historian, I'm a performer, and I'm in show business. I'm not in... See, now I get nervous because we're at a university here, and I have to be smart. I try to put patches on my denim jacket. It just didn't stick. So I did Let George Do It, and I remember... our opening day, it wasn't even opening night, it was probably, an afternoon performance. And my parents came and my dad was, his office was on Taylor Street, so he had to, probably begrudgingly get in the car, battle traffic to come to this play. And my mom was there, and I came out on stage, and it was, I don't know, they had no inkling that I had any, penchant for performance, but I came out on stage, and God knows where it came from. I think I know where the accent came from, but I came up and I was like, "Stop this nonsense! This instant I say!" And I was like, "I am King George III!" And here are my parents, I wasn't an athlete, I mean, I could throw a ball, but I wasn't even the first 10 picked in any sport. And here I was on stage with this accent and this performance and this, hand-me-down cape and everything. And from that moment on, my parents were like, forget it, you're involved in the performing arts. So I started doing Second City youth programs. They would drive me around everywhere.
We haven't heard about 4th grade yet.
4th grade. Sophomore effort. It was the down period. It was the dark period. I got involved. It all happened so fast after third grade that, you know.
All right, so
it's a typical story, right?
We'll skip fourth, fifth, sixth. What grade are we in now?
I don't know. We're probably college, and I graduate college. But I always, they facilitated this seed, and it grew and grew. And
this is at Bradley University.
At Bradley University, I went to Roosevelt, and then Oak Park, OPRF, where I remember being at Oak Park. I did plays there, Studio 200, right? That was called, and main stage, everything I could. I constantly performed while doing Circle Theater in Forest Park. If anybody remembers that, it was a little. All right, that's a good one. I loved it. And that was like my social avenue too. But I also hung out with people. I was everywhere, but I always had theater, as my hobby, if you will. And then I remember being at Oak Park every year, and we'd hang for some reason by the payphones at the front entrance of the school, trying to make free calls by putting a tack into the receiver. Anybody remember that? Does that just date me, unbelievably? I remember when the payphones, when you can't make free calls by putting a thumbtack in there. That's what it was. But I swear, it sounds so, juvenile and delinquent, but it was both. But right there by the payphones was, the Wall of Fame for, and I was like, when I saw these people, Mary Elizabeth Master Antonio from The Abyss and Scarface, Ray Kroc and other, pretty talented people. I was like, I want to get up there. I just want to be up there. So that was always in the back of my head, because I loved OPRF for what it taught me as a person. It's a really big school, and it's so diverse and so magnetic and kinetic and everything. It's it was the worst week of my life was my freshman year there, and I was like, I had to sink or swim, and it taught me to be a real person. I think it prepares you for the real world.
And I understand you were fussy about your lunches.
Yeah, that was probably way before that. Yeah, my mom, I'm one of 4 kids, and it got to a point where my mom was like, I'm done. If you don't like your lunch, you make it your damn self. Maybe there was a dam in there, maybe it wasn't, but in my mind, it's a better story if there's a dam. And so I would pack my own lunches, but I figured, why put it all why smush the bread? Because when you pack a lunch, right, you put the lettuce and the cheese and the meat and the bread and the mayonnaise or the mustard, and by the time it sits in a locker for 4 hours, it turns into a culture, an experiment. So what I did was I got you, Mom. Fine. I'm gonna show you. I started separating all the ingredients in its own. We went through Ziploc bags they were like toilet paper. I was constant, right? And so I had the turkey from the cheese separate from the lettuce, and this carried on to when I was an adult working in offices. People would be like, "What is this guy doing?" And I would assemble the sandwich, but I wouldn't put the bread into plastic because I could taste the plastic that would get foil.
You and I have something in common, I understand, and in my case, it drives my family nuts.
Yeah.
A very acute sense of smell.
Yeah.
How has that helped you? How has that hurt you?
It's a great question, because smell is directly related to taste, right? You can't smell and not, you cannot not smell without tasting. So I would say that, I'll walk in somewhere, and immediately if I smell something intense like that, especially if it's carpeted, like an Irish pub, but maybe in or around Madison Street, I can't eat at a majority of these places because you walk in and it's the beer and the sweat and the fry oil is embedded in it, and it immediately turns me off. My wife will spend $38 on a candle from Fitzgerald's or something over there. I'm just shouting out at everybody today. You know what I mean? But they have very expensive glass candles. This is not a Yankee candle, my friend. This is artisanal. And she'll light it, and I'll come home. I'll be like, get rid of this candle. It's giving me a headache. So it really does. That's funny. I have a very acute sense of smell.
it's led you to a career, or at least contributed to your career in food, whereas it's turned me into I'm not a foodie. I am food impaired.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You're like, I get it, because I was on WGN talking about sandwich slippage and about proper placement of a condiment or a schmear. And right, if you put the tomatoes against the mayonnaise, you take a bite, it's awful. It's a horrible wreck. And he's like, I get what you say. Charlie's like, I get it, because when I put the ketchup on the top and bottom bun, I was like, the issue is not the top and bottom bun placement. It's that what are you putting ketchup on? You animal.
I thought this was off the record. I didn't know it was going to happen here.
So how you became famous, if you want to go back
to
that.
Yeah, that's still on the table.
Okay. First of all, for me, it was never about the fame. I did a podcast for my son's grade at Lincoln, a third grade podcast. It's available online. I'll put it out there tomorrow just to remind everybody. It's really cute, and they interview every question that the 50 kids in all combined classes asked me was about fame. Like everything. It wasn't about, third grade, right? And I don't know if in third grade I had as much of a knowledge or relationship with fame, right? I think now with the internet and YouTube especially, and these kids look at these devices, it's like, how did you become famous? What's it like to be famous? What's it like to go places when you're famous? What's it like to travel when you're famous? And I'm like,
hold on, I have to cross all these questions off my list. I'm sorry.
But for me, it was never about the fame. It was about making it, right? Like to me, making it was like a thing, right? It was like, how do I make it? And I never knew what the definition of making it was. I just knew I'd feel it when I got there, And two was, how do I entertain as many people as possible? So when I graduated college, I always worked in food throughout high school. I worked at River Forest Market on Lake Street for the really mean butchers with mustaches, with stacks of Playboys in the back and sawdust on I had to clean sawdust stuff off the floor. Again, aging myself. I'm not even 40 yet, and you're already like, where's the apron and the handlebar mustache? Unironic handlebar mustache. And they chain smoke while cutting meat. It was awesome, and I hated every minute of it. And then I got a job. That was for $3.62 an hour. That is a fact. I'll never forget that. And I got my first paycheck. It was like $22. And then I moved on down a little bit west to Traveling Fair, and I worked in the sandwich shop there and as catering and stuff. So from that point on, I pretty much always worked at food, from Taste of Chicago during the summers, slanging beefs and toasted ravioli for Tuscany, to whatever way I can. So I always had an affinity for that. So when I graduated college, I opened a deli with my cousin out in Westmont. But that same week we opened the deli, I got cast in Tony and Tina's Wedding. I laughed too inside. No, but it really did prepare me from an improv standpoint how to work any room possible. It was 6 shows a week, so I'd work the deli full time and then go do shows Wednesday through Sunday, 2 on Saturday.
Any funny memories from what's the most memorable moment of your time with Tony and Tina's Wedding?
You have the chapels right next to the. It was at Piper's Alley. If anybody does anybody go to that? Anybody go to that when I was there? I know my family's raised it 9 times. That's why I didn't make any money there. I had to get them comp tickets. It was like the chapel, and then there was the venue right there that held 350 people. It was legit back then. And we do the chapel, and we went right into the venue, and I was playing Tony at the time, I think, and we're all dancing.
For people who don't know, it's a wedding. It's an
interactive Italian-American wedding where you're the guest and we're the performers, and it's all improv. We have blocking, but at the end of the day, it's what we're saying mostly, 90% of the time, is just work in the room, work in the table work, we call it, But there is like a fight, and there's a crying, and then there's, it's a whole thing. The priest gets obviously drunk. It's a whole thing. Very highbrow. Probably the most memorable part is right when we got into the reception hall, and we're all dancing, and there's a live band playing. There's a guy dancing with one of the bridesmaids. She just pulls him. The guy drops, I swear to God, drops dead, has a heart attack. Probably 38 years old. So I know. So, but this was a lesson, right? And so everybody's crying. I tell you, the paramedics come in and I'm not laughing. But what happened, I mean, it was so dramatic, at least from what I recall, and it wasn't that long ago. I mean, it was literally like taking him out in a body bag. Like, that's what happened. And we're all sitting there, and a lot of people are crying. A lot of people are back. Some are backstage. Some are there. Half the audience leaves. I mean, they hightailed it. They're like, we did not sign up for this. And the other ones are like, we signed up for this. Half of them didn't believe that this really happened. So now we have to, like, even after the body bag, I mean, the guys, you can't breathe in a body. I mean, I don't know. I think they're pretty airtight. So they, I mean, it was terrible. And we're all backstage, and we're like, and the director comes in, he's like, you know, it's that old adage, like, right, the show must go on. So he's like, we got about 30% retention rate out there. You know, you guys can all go home, but my recommendation is let's give these people a show. So we went back out there, and the guy who played, this guy Marty Shannon, rest in peace, he was the old priest. He was there for everyone. Chain smoker, everything. And he's like smoking back. He's like, you know, he had this gruff voice. And I'll never forget, it was like the best timing ever. But he goes, I guess we knocked him dead. And that was it. In that moment, we all kind of giggled again. We went back out there and we put on a show. You know what I mean? And it was the weirdest night of my life, but we had no choice. You know, the show must go on. You know what I mean? I don't know. I believe in that. I think there's some old-timey show business, things like that should be adhered to.
How is that?
Was that insensitive? I'm just telling stories.
That was a great story. That was the greatest. I think that's the greatest single story that we've heard in the history of the Wednesday Journal Conversation series. Thank you.
You mean Axelrod didn't have a knock 'em dead story?
Not as I recall.
Yeah, okay.
How is your comedy? I mean, obviously, your comedic instincts helped you land the gig with the Food Network.
Yeah.
But how has it, over the years, played out in other aspects of your career?
I don't know. I always thought I was funny. Like, I got voted at Roosevelt, 8th grade, which caused a fist fight, which I almost got expelled for. I won funniest guy against another guy, right? And it was called funniest guy. So they had like the mock elections now. Here's another great story to share. So I had him, no. But it was a big deal, and I won it. And I believe I was the funniest guy. The whole class did. The other kid was just a bully. I won't mention his name. He could be listening. And it led to this whole thing. This whole play. There were sides and there was fights, and the guy smashed a kid in the locker. I was just reacting. I was defending myself. It doesn't matter. I went on to graduate from Oak Park River Forest. Now we're all friends, right? We're all somewhat, adults or whatever, teenagers. I win class clown at Oak Park River Forest High School. And everybody's like, whoa, boy, you're going to meet at the bike racks? You know, it's going down at 3:15 at the bike racks. But, I always was, I loved a classroom, not for the learning aspect. I loved it for, how do I become, how am I funny but still somewhat being respected by the teacher and not being sent to the principal's office? For me, it was, always... it was my weapon, it was my sport, was being funny. And and it started from being around our dinner table, I think, where this is my own, psychological examination of myself, but how did I get attention at the dinner table? My older brother would make us all cry, or with his mean words, and I would, but then I got to a point where I'm not going to cry anymore, whereas my two younger sisters would always cry, so they get attention from crying. So my brother's getting attention just by being yelled at. My sisters were being consoled. How do I get attention? I could be the levity, and I was always go talk to your sister upstairs, she's crying. And I'd be like, you know what I mean? It was ingrained in me so I don't know if it's much as, nature versus nurture, I don't know. Was it ingrained in me, or was it learned? I think I come from funny stock, and
Well, how has it affected your career? In Hollywood, or in California anyway, and in the workplace, in the business community, as you build this restaurant chain.
I think it's my brand at this point. You know what I mean? People want to just not say hey, Jeff, make me laugh, but they expect a certain persona from me, whether I'm at the restaurant cooking or at a meet and greet or at a paid gig or something, you know? And it's kind of my angle. And I think it was when I was in Food Network Star, 7, 8 years ago, and I finally made it onto that show after 4 tries, and I was cast in the show, and I'm living in a house with 14 random people in California, like shooting a reality, like literally shooting me brush my teeth at night at like 3 a.m. It was an odd thing, and I was like, I kind of had an epiphany. I knew I could never be, you know, and I've spent years doing stand-up and improv and sketch comedy and stuff like that, and I was like, I knew I could never be the funniest comic in the world, and I could never, certainly after going to culinary school and working in all aspects of food, I was never going to be the best chef in the world, but I could be the funniest chef. Because nobody's claiming that, right? And I don't know if they go hand in hand, but even when I was working in kitchens, I'd be like, hey, everybody, what do you want? You want an invitation? What do you want? You know, so I think everywhere I've worked, whether it's an office, a restaurant, work from home, I don't know. I'm trying to be funny, you know? And I could fall flat a lot. I don't know. But
who makes you laugh now? What comedians out there
I do enjoy some of my lines on The Kitchen at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Because I do watch it like game film. Sometimes I'm like, oh boy. And I'll be the first to like sit there and like be like, what's with your hair? Why'd you choose that sweater? And why'd you say that? But man, I swear, and then I'll look at if my wife laughs, forget about it. I know it's funny because she's my toughest critic, as is my mother, who's here. My mom grew up telling me I wasn't funny many times because that wasn't funny. It wasn't funny, but it just made me want to be funnier. But who makes me laugh? I'm a big Howard Stern fan, so all those characters on that show make me laugh out loud constantly. I don't know.
Okay. Clearly, you're a fan of your own work, which is a wonderful thing.
That's terrible. That sounds terrible, too.
No.
That's all you're gonna cut from this, the body bag story and me being like, I'm the funniest guy.
We're not cutting the body bag.
No, we're not.
The body bag story stays.
That's a true story. You could fact check that, Charlie.
So 2011,
yeah,
you're anointed the winner in the Food Network contest. You moved to California, right?
No, we were in California before that, like 4 years before that. 6, 7 years. So we moved. What happened was I left Tony and Tina's wedding. The deli sold. And then me and my wife, Sarah, who's a nurse, which for any, burgeoning performers out there, get yourself hooked up with a nurse. They can work anywhere and get paid for it pretty well. But we were engaged at the point. She's like, I'm going to, she's like, what are we doing? I'm like, let's move to L.A. She can work from there. Got a job in L.A., Glendale, and I was just kind of, I was working, I got a job too, but I was performing and everything. So after 4 years of trying to make it out in Hollywood, doing pilots and getting representation and having plenty of meetings, it just didn't work out. And one day I rolled over about 3 years into it, and I was like, I'm gonna go to culinary school. I go, if I'm shooting these like homemade cooking show pilots, I'm going to have the credibility and the knowledge. And that's what I think that decision made me a candidate eventually. So by the time we moved back home, after 4 years in LA, I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. We want to start a family, want to have babies.
Why did you come back here?
Because I lived in LA and it wasn't normal, and everybody was from, I know that's cliche to say, but everybody's from somewhere else. Everybody's chasing essentially the same dream, the same carrot. Everybody's nice to your face, but really cutthroat, and everybody's doing something but doing nothing. And I feel like here you can't really get by on, talking a big game. You got to survive. You got to pay rent. There it's like their parents are paying their rent and they're like performing, but they're not working. And I don't know. I didn't feel like my soul wanted to be there. So I think things started, like the path was defined when I moved back home, and my body and heart and soul were in Chicago and in this area and stuff.
When you came back, what did you look for in a home? I mean, physically, the neighborhood, how did you decide where you were going to live here?
Well, I think it's important to be around family first and foremost. especially if you have a young one. It's like free babysitting, for the most part. It's true. Thank you. It's one. But I wanted to be, I don't know, it's funny. I know you're saying your kids, you're like, you just hope they move back, one's in Portland, one's in the city.
It was off the record.
Yeah, it's up, you take. But you know what I mean? Like, I would see that. I hope my son moves back here one day. I think you just wanted a community, and you realize, especially even after living in the city for a couple years in a condo and like sharing a space with somebody, you want space yourself, and you want the old familiar places, and you want a yard, and you want family, and you want... And everybody, I mean, it's funny, when I moved back in August to River Forest, so many people are like, it's just a matter of time, I feel like, at least with the good ones.
A couple of questions from the audience. This is from Deb Maroney. When did you know you were a true foodie, and what were some of your favorite foods growing up?
I don't know. I think growing up in a big Italian-American family, food was always the epicenter of everything, whether it's, a celebration or, a funeral. Like, there's a graduation party, there's food everywhere, right? There's a birthday, there's food everywhere, You stub your toe on the coffee table, your aunts bring over trays of eggplant. Hey, you got to have eggplant. So
I want to be in your family.
Yeah, I know. It is. Well, we've always struggled with it, too, as well. We love food so much. It really is, like, how we celebrate. And I think, I don't know. I mean, I remember, like, little things, right? Like, Friday nights when we can order pizza or whatever. Like, to me, it was like, I cannot wait. I can't wait to get that pizza. You know what I mean? And, like, I can't wait to eat the... Like, for me, even to this day, like, my day, like, I'll plan it around the meals... And I can't wait for that meal. And it goes the same for my son and my nephews and my siblings. Like, we cannot wait. It's not like, what do you wear? It's like, what are we going to eat?
And yet...
That's a good line. Remember that. I'm going to write that down on my... Charlie, can I borrow your notepad?
Here's a pen if you want. You are, for those listening at home and not looking, remarkably thin.
Okay.
How do you do that?
It's been a journey. I work out really hard. I did a brutal workout today, and I work. I watch the shows on Saturday, especially during the first several years of my journey. It's hard. There's so much coming at you. You're getting taken out to dinner. You're being celebrated and kind of courted by agents and producers, and then I show up at work and I'm surrounded by food, and like you just consume. And for me, it was like the best ever. Even like working in restaurants and food service, like. This was like beyond, because this wasn't like my own food or professional. Like, this was like going out to, so you learn first off to kind of scale back on that and take it easy a little bit. And then as the years go on, I'm like, I don't, and I gotta like have wardrobe fittings all the time, like every 3 weeks. Jessie was just over yesterday. She's my wardrobe stylist. And she puts me in clothes, and I spent years being like, they don't make it in that size, but I want to wear it. It makes me, and it's like, I wasn't happy. And then I watched the show and I wasn't happy how I looked. And as crazy as that sounds, it's how I felt, and I was like, how do I not only be, healthy from an aesthetic point of view, and knowing that I'm on television, I want to look my best, but I also want to feel my best. And with all the travel and eat, like I had to, so I eat less and I work out more. I guess that's it. I still eat I swear, man, I will eat. I ate today at L's on Madison Street, the L's Grill. Dude.
All right, I have to write that one down.
L's Grill, it's very good. Have you had it? Try this out. It's very unique. It's a Greek-run breakfast joint. But it's very good. It's very good. I got an omelet with half American cheese, half Swiss cheese. Because the American cheese is creamy. The Swiss has got some bite to it, right? A little chew. Pickled jalapenos and ham. Side of breakfast sausage. Links, not patties. 2 slices of rye toast with really salty butter. And if it's not salty enough butter, I put salt on it. Hash browns extra crispy. And then half of my wife's food. Right? And a Diet Coke. That's all fact. You can look at my receipt. I'm sure his name is George. Ask him. It's got to be George.
Earlier today, I tweeted you a picture of my lunch. I didn't even see it. You didn't see it. You're a busy guy. But here's what it was. It was a slice of wheat bread, cut in half, 2 2 pieces of applewood smoked turkey. I don't even know what that means.
It's probably Applegate, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
And 5 sandwich pickle slices.
That's it. Where did you put the ketchup on this one?
I didn't put ketchup on it. What did I do wrong, and how could I have done better?
Whatever, man. You know what? Listen, I'm not gonna sit there and judge you for your choices.
You already have.
I already
That's
did
okay. I
with
can
the
take
ketchup,
it.
but that's like a cultural choice. Like you chose to put ketchup on your stuff.
Not today.
Like that's what you did. But you like simplicity. I don't like overstuffed sandwiches. I don't think I don't like too many things. My father was there. We'll put everything on a sandwich. Talk about slippage. I mean, we had bruises as kids just from him taking bites of food right in the head. I mean, his ice cream creations alone. My dad would make us milkshakes. What's a milkshake, right? Milk, ice cream, a chocolate syrup, everything. Honey bunches of oats, trail mix, a half a loaf of Casa Nostra bread, peanut butter, a banana, ice, right? He used to put ice in it. I was like, you're killing it with the ice, Dad. And it would you know how milkshakes they start melting really quick. These would there's so much bread wheat product in there. It was like stasis. It wouldn't. It was like the ice thing.
You could fill a
God
pothole.
damn it, a glacier. It wouldn't move.
You could fill a pothole with it.
It was
You could do pothole repair with this.
It was. You could recalk your whole bathroom with it. It was good though.
Was it good though?
Of course it was good. When you almost choke on a milkshake.
This one's from Scott Frankel. Do you cook at home?
Mm-hmm.
And if so, what kind of meals do you prepare for your family? And I assume it's not a milkshake like the one you just described.
No. I cook. We try 4 days a week. We usually make it to Thursday. Try Sunday, Monday, if I'm not on the road, which is frequent. But I've been home for a couple weeks, so we've been cooking a lot. But I usually, we usually do a protein, and then a big salad and a vegetable and a sweet potato or a potato of some sort. I love ribeyes. I love making steaks, cast iron skillet, ton of butter, right? Baste it in the butter and the aromatics and the. See, I'm doing that. That's terrible.
And yet you're skinny.
Because listen. So I have a philosophy, and I'll be honest with you. This is my diet, if you want to know. I stop eating at 7 o'clock. All right. If I'm out, it's the weekends are fair game. And then I won't start eating again until at least maybe 1 o'clock the next day. So I'll wake up, I'll have a very hard workout, I'll drink black coffee and a ton of water, sometimes a couple pinches of Himalayan pink sea salt. It's weird, right? But for me it works, because why? For me it's a psychological game, right? I can't wait to eat later. And I love eating so much that for me, I spent my whole entire life planning my meals and revolving. It's there's no better way to revolve your life around food than being and I've trained myself to the point where I'm not really that hungry. I'm not starving. My stomach, if I'm looking at pictures of food, alone in my room, fold out, my stomach will growl, And something today, I went right to L's because I had a very hard workout. And but even at that point, I still stopped eating at 7, and I made it to 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock or whatever. And there's science behind it and everything. Look it up. It's called intermittent fasting. I've been doing it a year. I'm down. These are size 34 pants. I mean, I haven't worn 34. My 8th grade graduation, 42s. Husky section. There were 3 pants in the entire Cook County, and we got one of the last ones. Bugle Boys. 26 inseam, 42 waist.
You're selling...
Giant coat, giant double-breasted. From Irv's. It's true, though.
Old retail tailor. Your Pork and Mindy's restaurants are serving pork candy?
Pig candy,
Pig candy. What is it?
Did everybody get some?
There's some samples for people in the audience. But
they're sweet and they're sweet heat. I don't know, it's just like a labor of love. It's a retail product that was kind of, part of our DNA at the restaurants that we've, learned to, mass produce and give it to the masses. To me, it's, It's better than jerky. It's literally just bacon and sugar. I mean, there's two ingredients on there, and whereas jerky, I love jerky, and I love, Jack Link's kippered beefsteak and Slim Jims and stuff like that, but you don't know what you're eating half the time. At least this, you know what you're eating, and it's a good snack. Comes with three sticks, 3 slices of bacon.
It's a good snack? In what sense is it a good snack?
It's good. If you're tired, you have 3 sticks of pig candy, you're going to be less tired. I think that's on the package. That's the slogan. No, I don't. You know what it's like? It's all about getting it out there, and like growing this business to the sauces and the pig candy and the meats and everything. I didn't open the restaurant to, I don't know, man. I'm as good. You're on TV. You're as good as your next pickup. And luckily with the kitchen, it's been so successful. We're scheduled for usually a year out, just because it's hard to get 4 people together and it's hard to, work around everybody's schedules. But I like to feel it's a successful show. But then again, I've had a couple shows canceled before, and it's a scary thing because it's like, what do? I can't just put a show on TV. You know what I mean? It's up to the network. It's up to really powerful, high-paid people to greenlight things. And as much as I schmooze and as I like to think I'm good at my job, I have very little control over it. So this, at least I have some control over my future in a way, and to kind of build a brand that's indicative of what I do on TV, without being, without trying to elevate, I'm not doing tweezer food and foams and stuff like that. I didn't want to open up a full service restaurant, and then deal with the reservations from family members wanting God knows how many reservations. So this way, it's come, fast casual, come with the family whenever you want. It's open for business.
Let's go from pig candy to the other end of the nutritional spectrum. Veggie burgers are a rising thing. What do you?
I just had one. I had one of the, not the Impossible Burger. What's the other one? The other bloody one. Beyond Meat.
Beyond Meat.
Yeah. They sell at Whole Foods, right in the.
I've had a couple of those recently.
They're not bad. To me, they taste very similar to a Morningstar burger or whatever, but they're just red, and look like bloody meat, which I dig. I think it was good. I think whatever, man. Listen, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna. I like meat too much to stop. I understand the ethical reasons to stop eating meat, but it's it's so good. See the smell,
but
right?
you don't see
beef, ground beef in a pan, and it you could smell when someone's grilling burgers 3 doors down. And you got to Beyond Meat.
But you don't see a business opportunity here for you.
I would totally do it. I would love to get a hold of that, because I know they got sausage and stuff, and smoke it. Everything in Pork and Mindy's is all our proteins are smoked in some capacity. So it'd be fun to play with. I think it's ultimately better for the environment, better for the world. Obviously more sustainable and all that. And it was good. It was an enjoyable thing. But I did have on the side of my Beyond Meat was about 3 other ground chuck burgers. Just in case. I didn't know what I was getting into, so I had some backup. Guess what got eaten first?
Okay, since you've lifted the curtain on some of our pre-show conversations, I want to lift the curtain here a little bit too, because I try not to talk too much to the interviewees before we do this. Yeah. But when you and I talked a few days ago, you told me you don't like to talk politics.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to ask you to talk politics, but I am going to ask you to talk about why you don't like to talk about politics.
I don't know. I mean, you know what? I equate it to the reason why, if anybody saw SNL this last week, they cut out a political cold open for the first time since Trump was elected, which I think was the best move they made. And they made it about the mothers, and they made it about comedy and things we could forget about. For me, it's we're so inundated with it, and I don't want to polarize myself or anybody. I'm still so nervous that someone's going to take this job away from me. You know what I mean? I fought tooth and nail for this. I put myself, my family in weird situations, countless weird situations, whether it's moving across country, whether it's performing after a guy dies, stuff like that. I don't want to lose it. I love it so much. I don't want to alienate any of my fans, which let's face it, I'm on Food Network. I'm not on HBO. I'm not I can't really articulately speak to politics that well. I'm not that well read. I am. Like, I read every night. I read a lot, but I just don't read, political literature, whatever they call it, you kids. Whatever you kids call it. And so I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. I don't think anybody really wants to hear what I think. And for that reason, I'm going to keep my mouth shut, keep cooking and being funny. And I think, I don't know, a lot of people can, and there's obviously a large place in this world for political satire, and I think it's very important for us to be able to speak whatever we want, but personally, I'm good. Like, I'm good. And I'd rather see stupid sketches on SNL, because we all need an escape, and I hope to be an escape from people, not remind people whatever the hell's going on.
Does this political environment change the restaurant business in any way? I mean, the conversations...
Yeah, I mean, you see what happened to so many chefs, and food people, whether they're celebrity chefs or just restaurateurs or restaurant chefs, And, you see it. I've seen it. I can guarantee... swear on my son, I've never been a part of it. I've been with my wife since. Thank you, Mary. She's like, no. But honest to God, like I pride myself. I've been with my wife since we were 21 years old. I'm now 39. I knew her for 4 years before that. I've never been. I think I was raised, to respect women. I come from a big family of strong women, and right. Do you agree with that, Emily?
About that you're not like creepy.
Yeah, like a creepy dude.
Totally not a creepy dude.
Like, an ass pincher, a tickler, none of that stuff. There's no children. I could say ass pincher.
We don't know who's listening to the podcast.
That was the name of my high school band, by the way, ass pincher.
All right, well, that brings us to our next subject, because I know that beyond food, you have a fascination, an interest in pop culture of all sorts.
It's very true.
So what are your favorite cultures of the popular sort?
I love TV, of course. I love television. Thank you. Because I liked it before I was on TV. And the worst thing you could say to me, right, is like, I don't have cable. Oh. It's like you go up to an accountant and you're like, I don't file my taxes. You know what I mean? It's like, how dare you? You're taking away from my food from my son's mouth. You realize when you cut the cord, you cut the direct conduit to my thing.
I got cable.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Thank God. That would have been two major strikes with the ketchup, not the cable.
I only want one.
No, but obviously you don't need cable these days. But for me, it's like I love my whole family. We love television. That's what we have for our conversation. It's like 50 food, 50. What'd you eat last night, and what'd you watch last night, right? And I love television. I mean, everything from majority of HBO programming, you name it, I watch it. Game of Thrones, all that, to like Vanderpump Rules. I don't care. I can bench 245 pounds 3 times. I watch these trashy reality shows about housewives. I like it. It's escapism, and it makes me feel really good about my family situation, which can be a show unto itself.
And one of the things that you do with your family, I understand, is make music.
Yes. So, yeah, we grew up in a musical household. We took piano lessons as a kid. My brother continued on with piano. He's very good. We sing. I play guitar. I took my first guitar lessons in 8th grade, which was Wallace Music on North Avenue. Remember that? Some guy, chain smoker with a mustache. It's probably this close to getting an invite to his windowless van. It's not like School of Rock right now, right? School of Rock is where my son goes. It's an amazing school, but who knows what could have happened. I made it out of there alive. And then from there, I went to Guitar Fun for several years, remember, right on Lake in Ridgeland. And I loved it. Like, for me, it was just, we had a baby grand piano, and when we'd have family parties or holidays, we'd gather around the piano. If this wasn't like the, Milk Toast Von Tramp stuff. I mean, we were playing some dirty stuff. We were getting down and dirty most of the time. Marvin Gaye and like Let's Get It On as a family. It's always weird to hear at a funeral luncheon, but we did it. Which is probably pretty, I'm sure we played Let's Get It On at a funeral luncheon before. What's that?
We've done that at like 4 weddings.
4 weddings, we've done it, yeah. So we're music, and listen, our biggest hang up is that we can, I really wish if I could, I don't even know, go back in time, but go way back in time and like change our genetic makeup. I wish we could all harmonize vocally together. That's our biggest hang up. We really can't. We're terrible at it. Emily will say that. Frank is, my brother can't. Is horrible at trying to harmonize.
But you and your son, Lorenzo.
We have a band, yeah.
Do you harmonize?
No, he can't. Well, he's not saying it. I'm hopefully my wife has some kind of dormant harmonization gene in her that will come through in my 9-year-old boy. And I don't want to crack the whip with it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's like the football dad mentality where you're like, boom, For me, it's like, I just want it to I want him to enjoy, playing with his old man music.
You've got a great band name, though.
Yeah, we're called Tomorrow. We play. He plays drums. I play guitar. He's still not good enough for me, I don't think. His kid's got. I'm kidding. No, he's really. It's amazing. Again, what the School of Rock, teaches these kids. It's great, and we'll play. We play holidays, and then my sister comes and plays. And I have keyboards. When we moved in August to a house, I had a prerequisite. The kitchen's fine. I can cook in any kitchen. I really can. And we're fortunate enough to move into a new house. And so the kitchen everything was already built. We just moved into it. And the kitchen was already spectacular. And our kitchen in Elmwood Park was very small. Our backyard was fine. Like, I know all that would come with a house in River Forest, space and everything. I just wanted two things. I wanted a jam room in the basement to put all my instruments where the family can gather. My brother could play keyboards. I have amps, PAs. And I made that happen, right? I mean, I have a PA that is 83 times larger than the PA right here.
83? You did that calculation remarkably
I saw that,
quickly.
There was a thing, there was that thing,
Yeah.
90-degree thing,
Yeah.
compass.
I'm impressed.
Right, algorithms.
So you got an 83,
It's loud in there, right? It's loud.
Yeah.
It's great. So we did that, and the second thing, I was just a bathtub, man, that I could fit into. I love bathing. That's my other sport. I am the best bather in this room. I guarantee you. I will put up. I bring my Kindle in there, and I read.
Okay, but not an electric guitar.
No, I do
That would be
not.
bad.
That would not be bad. That would not be good. It would be bad. Regardless, I go in there. In my old bathtub in Elmwood Park was a very, what you would think, the curtain and the thing, a very small tub. And it wouldn't even get above my chest, right? Or wouldn't even breach the areola zone. So I'd be in this tiny bath, and I'd have to I'd buy a plug. Areola, it's a scientific word, Charlie. Look it up, bro.
I'm completely comfortable with it. I'm just
very red right now.
admiring your comfort level.
Axelrod never said areola.
No,
I
he
guarantee
didn't.
you that. So I had to buy a plug for $3.99 on Amazon for the overflow valve, so it would fill up more. But then it's a dangerous situation. So I would say I would otter myself. So it would just splash water on my chest because I'd be just so, goosebumpy and so cold. And then I'd regulate the thing. You know what I mean? A little hot. A little warm, shut it down, getting overflow.
For the podcast audience, Jeff is using his foot to control the...
I use my
It's your foot, though, right? You do use your foot.
Like a lemur's tail. Like this, right? Precision.
The foot.
Blindfold. But then it wasn't enough, right? Because it still never got above me. So I'd have to, turn and, soak this half.
Wait, you lost your microphone.
So, sorry. So I have to turn and soak this half and then make a thing and soak this half. And occasionally, I get very adventurous and go dump me down. Like this, which is a sight to walk into when you're my wife. And I'm literally
So this is the old bathtub.
That was the old bathtub. Now it's too much room. Now it's Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Francis's bathtub.
You need a lifeguard.
I do need a lifeguard.
We'll get you a lifeguard.
I do. My wife's there with the whistle on the high chair.
All right, so amazingly, we're out of time.
Oh, no.
But that was exactly the right reaction. Thank you for that. Before we wrap it up, I want to give you a chance to combine a couple of your passions.
Okay.
improv,
Yeah.
and music. So we have a little surprise. Jeff has brought his guitar with
Oh,
him.
boy. Yeah, you want me to grab it?
Go get your guitar.
All right, I don't know how this is going to go, but I'll tell you what. We do have a band, I like to say, on set of the kitchen. And if anybody ever finds themselves in New Jersey, whatever, contact me through social media. You can be part of the live audience. It's really fun. You get to eat our food and everything. It's really a unique experience. We shoot in Montclair, New Jersey, which I just read last night was the neighborhood of Montclair was named after Montclair, New Jersey. Why are you laughing? It's true. And we have a little band there, and so I play with sound guys who are like, savants almost. Like they're so gifted and they know everything. They can harmonize like nothing. It's like a dream come true, finally. So we get to play, whereas most of the, my cast members, God love them, where I have the little room with instruments and stuff to go to and play, I felt like the first couple runs we had at the kitchen back in the day, it's like we shoot 12 acts a day. In between the acts, like you sit there and you're just looking at your phone. It's like, what do you, looking at an I don't know, it's like worthless. I was like, then I'd be tired to go do another act and then a subsequent, 10 acts. So, I brought a guitar out there and then other people brought instruments. So that's like kind of my thing. So we wrap an act, I go and I play music for 15 minutes, go back and do that 12 times. Of course, 12 times a day through 3 days in a row. So it's become kind of my, I don't know, way to keep sharp, not get like bogged down.
Not flat.
Not flat, hey. So that being said, what I like to do on set a lot is make up songs, Funny story, I'll play this song really, if you don't mind. Literally, we shoot right along, I like to call it the mighty Montclair River, which is, like a dirty, tire-filled stream, which runs along the back of our set. And if you've seen the kitchen, we really do shoot outside. Right behind where we shoot is this stream. So one of the art director guys was putting up a thing, and he fell through a sinkhole, and caught himself with his elbows. And he almost went down into the dirty, mighty Montclair. And so we're all sitting, everybody, he's bleeding, and of course me. So we're all sitting there like, did you hear about Justin? He went in a sinkhole. Which happened again the next 2 runs later. The same guy fell in the same sinkhole. I was like, dude, what are the odds? I'm like, go to the boat. By the boat, mean the gambling boat. Like, you should be gambling because you're either the most luckiest or unluckiest person. But, so, me and my crew, so I wrote this song. So we're there, and I didn't want to make light of it, but I wanted to...
Make light of it.
Yeah, make light of it. Love's like a sinkhole, I'm falling in deep. Surrounded by soil and crushed brown leaves. I hear the wind blows calling my name. Love's like a sinkhole, I'm drowning again. Here we go, right? You're late. One of the sound guys harmonizes so nice to me. You're late. Love's like a sinkhole, I'm falling in deep. And then there was another guy, right? And he was standing there, and his name's Mark. He's a really cool guy, super hipster, collects vinyl. He's got a really long beard, right? So then I'm sitting there, and I see him, and I'm like, this guy loves stroking my beard, stroking my beard, stroking my beard, and I'm falling in love with you. It's all gotta be a love song. Stroking my beard, right there. Stroking my beard, stroking my beard, and I'm falling in love with you. It's all saved up. I'm gonna spend it on a big black truck. I'm stroking hard. I'm stroking long. Come on, baby, see what we can do wrong. now stroking my beard, right?
I want to see you combine your ad-lib abilities with your musical abilities. So I thought we'd take from the audience
Okay.
a recommendation. You can pick which one. A food,
Bacon.
Okay.
bacon, and a location.
City Hall.
What's that? City Hall?
It's in Taylor Street.
Taylor Street. Oh, hey. Bacon, Taylor Street. How about like a vibe? You know, like a musical persuade blues. Okay, that I can do.
Okay. Bacon,
So
blues,
So the
Taylor Street.
I'm driving down the Eisenhower, going 6. Don't want to get pulled over. Don't want to fall into trip. Then I get off racing. I stop into the White Hand and buy myself a bacon dream. Oh, Taylor Street bacon tastes better than the blue. Italian flair to that pork mule. The only thing that bacon goes better on in a sandwich is a plate of carbonara, if that's an ingredient.
And that's the way it sounded. Food Network star Jeff Mauro on stage at Dominican University, May 15th, 2018. I'm Charlie Meyerson. You're listening to Chicago Public Square.